So I have a question for the panel. We've been tweeting about this for days now, and we're hearing a lot about the importance of networking and professional branding and whatnot. So I want to ask each one of you, the panel, is it what you know or who you know? And you have to pick one, and you can't plead the fifth.
Do I have to answer?
Yep.
I'm not. Okay.
So yeah, what is it? What you know or who you know?
If I have to pick one, I'll say who. And the reason is, nothing you do is alone. And I said this on Twitter the other day, but at the end of the day, you're looking at this person and they could have all the skills, but you have to ask yourself, do I want to see this person every day? Does this person make me excited that I want to see them and work with them? And am I excited? What feeling do I get from that person? And I don't think it comes down to just, I think people take the word knowing, it's not like you know them, it's do you really know who they are? And something that I've heard Maureen Lucas of Lucas Works say that I love is she hires for attitude and trains for skill. So things can be picked up along the way. It depends on what the attitude is. Who you know is definitely not everything, but it's really up there.
I would definitely say that if I had to pick, I would say it's important about who you know, because I know a lot of qualified people and they're just not able to get the jobs that they want. And I find that even maybe people that aren't as qualified in a certain field, they get jobs because their uncle owns a company or their aunt owns it. So I feel that when it comes down to it, you can develop your qualifications as you move along, but if you don't know the right people, I feel like you're going to have a hard time entering a certain job market.
I would pick who you know. My own personal career, everything was who I knew. My professional career, out of the 3 companies, 2 out of the 3 were who I knew.
Yeah, I would say who you know. Just in terms of getting that one interview, the first interview, getting your foot in the door. If you have a connection through somebody that you know, that helps a lot.
Yeah, I would also say it's who you know, but not necessarily do you know CEOs. It's do you know who can help you, whether it's through Employment Ontario or through one of your professors who can recommend you for a job, or it doesn't have to be that specific person high up or an HR director. Who do you know that can help you, and then what you know gets you moving further in your career.
I would say if it's what you know, because if you know to know the right people,
unfair.
Then
that was good.
You'll get yourself ahead.
You had to be different, didn't you? I saw it in your eyes. You were going to do it. I'm going to say who you know as well, because I agree with everything the panel said, but there's one other thing. When you look at who you associate with, it's very important. Your circle of influence, or the circle of the people you keep around you, says a lot about you. So when I'm looking at your references, it's important to put good references. Don't put your babysitter from when you were 12, okay? But if I see somebody who puts a priest, it kind of tells me about you, right? If you put your professor, that tells me about you, right? If you put your last employer, that's a really good one, right? Because if your last employer speaks very highly of you, that's who you know, that's a really good thing. And I really look good upon that. I'll call your last employer, and if they get a good reference, then that means that you left on good terms. That means I want you to come work for me, so.
That was a great point, references. Because that's one of the things we found to be a big challenge with young people. Because if you don't have experience, where did you develop those references? And we find a lot of times people don't let their references know that they put them down as a reference. So then you call the reference and they say, who? What is this for? And that really hinders your opportunity to really get that particular job. So if you are going to ask for a reference, make sure you let them know that you're asking them to be a reference, and make sure you had a good relationship with that particular person, because believe it or not, people will give bad references. And another thing, volunteering is a great way to get great references. So if you're wondering why you should volunteer, I'm not working, I need to get paid, I need money, I need to survive. Well, that's where volunteering can play a significant role. It can increase your skills, but also develop your network and provide you with the best reference, because you're giving your time for free and your skills for free. So people are willing to go that extra mile for you.
Well, and if you're volunteering somewhere and a job posting comes up, you're already in the culture, they know you, and if they like you and your work habits are really good, you're ahead of everybody else, and they may not even post a job, you'll get interviewed first. So it is, I know a lot of people feel like, well, I'm just, giving them free labor, but you're also doing it for a lot of reference development, networking, but it could lead to a full-time job. You never know.